Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mindfulness Mastery 888. I am Tawnya Love, and I am here with Cindy Campbell.
Hello, everyone.
We're feeling inspired I had a session basically today that was really beautiful, and all of my sessions are beautiful, I'll just be honest. But this session, because it's working with someone from a different culture, has been really kind of beautiful and enlightening for me to even understand, because I understand my own cultural programming, and I've had to awaken within that myself and be very conscious in the noise of the American patriarchal program. And for some, they could even say they're awakening within the misaligned, misogynistic Mormon program in America.
Yeah.
Or it could be a Catholic program, or it could be a Protestant program, or a Southern Baptist program, or it could be not even about religion. It could just be some weird hippy dippy, free loving, no boundaries program.
Yeah.
There's so many. But what's interesting is working with this particular client who's from the Indian culture. There's a lot of different dynamics, but also similar. Mm-hmm. And so it's a client that I just feel inspired to share some of the things that came by also not, sharing his personal details of his session, but like some of the magic, and I won't say who the person is, so I'm going to keep that all anonymous. But I feel like it has some gold that could really help people be more aware of the programming they've been raised in, whether it's, just a cultural one or a religious one or abusive or whatever. It's basically whatever you've been taught since you've been really young, that this is the way it is.
Yep.
And it could be, people just telling you money doesn't go on trees and we're not destined to be rich and this is just the way it is, and whatever they say. It's a program. And if we don't understand that, then we'll walk into our life carrying the weight of it and letting it affect us and thinking that's just what we deserve, who we are, because we won't have looked at the program to realize, wait a minute, I'm a soul, like multidimensional cosmic being that's in a meat suit on a particular place on planet Earth geographically, in a particular dynamic culturally, in a particular, maybe this family's religious, maybe it's not, maybe it's in poverty, maybe it's really wealthy. No matter what it is, there's programming. And then we have to be aware of what feels aligned and right to me as the soul and what feels like complete bullshit.
Yeah.
That we're carrying as the human avatar. Does that make sense,
Yep.
Cindy?
Yep.
So with this particular client, it was kind of interesting synchronicity, because I'm like, that's just my life. It is so synchronistic all the time. And I feel like that is a sign when you're really in that alignment with source, that you will notice so much more synchronicity and so much more divine flow. And just, you can feel it, like you're in that flow. And it was interesting because I had just connected with this client. It's a new client. And I was aware of the cultural energy of, where they're from. And then Cindy just goes, hey, Tawnya, have you heard of this? There's this dating matchmaker show. I think it was on Netflix, right?
It's on Netflix. Yep.
She's like, yeah, it's like an Indian, matchmaking dating show. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? And then I just looked, I was like, okay, I have a new client from India. I really feel like there's something in that show, because I can tell when I get a hit, like someone introduces and then I get this, you're meant to listen and tune in on this. So we made a fun night, and we've watched it a few times, and we're just watching it. And it's kind of funny because as an outsider, and the reason I feel this is important to share to the collective is that when we're in the energy of something, it's a lot harder to see it, to realize we're under a spell, that we're under a program. Mm-hmm. But when we're not, and we watch from another perspective, like us watching as American women, watching the collective programming of the Indian culture and the business model, the multi-billion industry of weddings.
Oh.
Like it's a business. And in that culture, in the religion, so it's like anything. In most cultures, there's a power dynamic about making money. And then there's a power dynamic often delivered in the form of religion to control you. But it can also come through your government, through different things. But we're watching this show, and it's so like, as someone not in that culture, and I'm just observing it from a detached place, I was just like, hell no. Like these women have lost their fucking minds. Like, who does this mom think she is? Like, coming in here and doesn't give a shit about her son's happiness. She just, you're going to get married by November. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Yes.
Like, who are you to say? And it was really interesting because to me, I could see the distortion. I could see so easily that there was misalignment happening. Mm-hmm. But to the ones in it, I mean, they can feel it. You can tell. The ones who are uncomfortable can feel it. That's why they're uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. That's why they're pushing back in the ways they feel they can even have permission to push back in a culture that is so teaching the program.
Yeah.
So like, if you don't even feel you have a right to question your parents or question your mom or question your dad or whatever, then it's going to be really uncomfortable because you're not even allowed to question them.
Right.
And so if your mom's whole thing is she got treated this way when she was a young girl, they married her off. She had no say. Some boy, he had no say. They just get together, and they have a lot of couples on there that are older. They're like, yeah, we met for like 30 minutes. And then they did the business deal, and then we were married.
And then yeah.
And me and Cindy are like, what the fuck? Like, this is so crazy. But at the same time, there's some couples that seem like they made the best of it, which shows that if you really, under any program, want to look for the good, you can find it. But also sometimes souls, they are souls that came in to destroy those systems. Mm-hmm. Some souls did not come in to just go along with the program.
Right.
I know my soul's one of them. Some souls came in with the very purpose, not in a destructive, like, misaligned, negative, destructive way, but more in a conscious destruction, meaning I can feel this is out of alignment. This takes away my free will, period.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know this is not aligned. And some souls come in with that wired really strong to where they'll push back on systems, religion, government, school, social, like the systems will come and they'll say, nope, that's not right because you're trying to take my free will. That's all I need to know that you are out of alignment and that you are not of integrity. Mm-hmm. Because true source light and consciousness and love and light is the empowerment and the alignment of integrity within ourselves. So when we feel empowered, we feel we have the say, we have the choice, we have free will. That is always going to feel better. It's going to feel good. It's going to, even if it's a choice that's hard to make, it's going to feel like the right one compared to being taught and programmed that you have no say.
Yeah.
That's always going to feel uncomfortable.
Yep.
So what do you want to share? Because I have so much I could say about this. But what did you feel from just like observing it?
So I had watched that show a long time ago, and then rewatching it with you is super interesting because
you're watching me catch all these things.
Because you're catching stuff and you're getting intuitive hits, right? So it's really good. Yeah, I find it interesting, like especially some of the young men that were like going along with the program, and they're just like, you can tell they really do not want to get married.
Totally.
Oh, like at all.
You can tell, like they've sent the guy 150 women and he's like, nope, not interested. Yes. Like he's so not into the game. Yes.
Like they just don't want to do it. And it's like, but you know, the mom is just pushing. And then the dad is sick of the mom.
Yes. You know, everyone just looks so stressed.
Yes. And it's like, what if y'all just let it go?
Yes. Well, and it's interesting because talking to my client, he had an interesting observation that in the culture, a lot of the women, so let's say the young girl becomes the mother, the wife mother, and then she had to do that against her will. And so she's doing the best, but her whole thing is having a family. And then her big meaning of life and purpose in life is to get her children married off and have these weddings and have all these special jewelry pieces and costumes. And it's this whole thing that if you thought your whole life was for that moment, it puts a lot of pressure on you to think that's an important thing for you as a woman, as a wife, to make sure you create an experience.
Yes.
So then without maybe being conscious, because right, a lot of people in shadow and in programs, they're not consciously trying to destroy their children.
Right.
But they don't recognize that they're plowing right through their children's free will. And in doing that, it has the ability to kind of feel like it's destroying things in them.
Yes.
And so like seeing it from that perspective, that a lot of times the women that have unaddressed trauma or anger, frustration, resentment, it's building. And then here comes the new possible woman to marry their son. And the one woman literally said it like, you'll get a wife, you'll come here, and she will live in our house and she will follow our rules, just like I had to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, that's a loaded statement. Like, it's kind of like the person that wasn't treated well, they got bullied, and now they're going to get theirs. It's their turn to get bullied. And some humans live like that. You know, they got bullied as a freshman, so now they're going to bully because they're a senior. But there's another way to see it. I got bullied, and I remember thinking, I'm going to make sure I never do this because this feels awful.
Yeah.
So we can break those systems and those programs through our consciousness by saying, even though that was done to me and it was awful, I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Even though that was how I got controlled and had to marry someone I didn't know, I don't have to project that on my child. It's very much like the Disney movie Brave, like where she doesn't want to get married. She wants to choose her own path and destiny. And the mom's like training her, and the mom's got her alignment as well. She's really trying to raise her daughter to be a queen one day and to make important decisions. But at the same time, her daughter's challenging her on how they're doing it.
Yeah.
And that one day, maybe that daughter has her own say and she wants to choose her own partner. And it's changing all the rules. And so souls that come along that actually bring consciousness will disturb it's not really disturbing peace, because it's what it's disturbing is the demons or the entities or the unchecked unconscious bullshit that's just been passed on generationally.
Yep.
Those souls will come in and disturb that because they're going to push back on it. And they're going to say, no, this takes my free will. That's all I need to know. No. And that will really freak out a mother that's, or a dad. It's whatever the system is. But in this case, I observed that in the Indian culture, that they elevate the feminine in a sense, like how they have their deities and their gods and goddesses, and the feminine's like elevated, like on a pedestal, and you worship and listen to mother, and it's like a worshiping of the feminine at a level, but there's a lower energy where it's still kind of that masculine running the show in the background and giving the woman the sense that she's got some power in this small way.
Yeah.
And that's part of what's off about it, is that then she feels upset and she doesn't feel she has power. And then the men are frustrated because all she's doing is stressing and obsessing about getting her kids married off, which is kind of similar. I love Jane Austen movies and Jane Austen books and Pride and Prejudice. That mom, the mother's always like stressing and tripping out about getting her daughters married.
Yep.
And so it kind of, you can see it in the culture. But that's one of the things I felt was interesting, is that looking at different cultures, and this comes to like our political noise, that we have this frozen toddler tyrant that has kind of taken our democracy hostage temporarily, is really, he's projecting such noise and chaos and hate and angst in a way that, like, the humans that are living here that have conscious awareness, we can see the danger of it. We can see the destruction of it.
Yeah.
And it's so important that we watch out for that noise and the programming, because if we don't, we get caught up in it. And so, like, last episode series, we were talking about choosing joy consciously, and we can choose consciously everything. We can choose consciously to not turn on the news. We can choose consciously to go and talk shit about someone, or go on a walk in nature and quiet our mind. We could choose consciously to believe in the light, and to believe that me being in the light and choosing love is powerful, and that me being love in motion is powerful, or choose to believe that we have no power and feel like we're going to give up, feel hopeless, feel like the darkness is going to take us down, right?
Right.
Always we have a choice. And I feel like the political noise in our country, there's a lot of things happening that are really probing and prodding energies. But I feel like some of it's for the purpose of getting people to really look at what matters to them. There is some things that become louder and more chaotic before the light cracks through.
Yeah.
And sometimes we might see like, look at this, you know, like I was saying to my client, in this country, I feel it's very much taught like there's a patriarchal superiority.
Oh, yeah.
Like even as a child, my dad would say stuff like, he who makes the gold makes the rules. And I'd be like, what the hell? What does that even mean? Like, but to him, it was like, that was a sense of empowerment. And like, as a masculine at that time, if he made the money, it's his fucking rules.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they make sense, if they're honoring. It's just, he made money.
Yep.
That's all, you know, that's all that generation was caring about. And that gave them the right to abuse. It gave them the right to do whatever they want. They could go out drinking, clubbing, cheating, have penthouse on the bathroom while the kids are running around through the house. Like just some bizarre shit that to a lot of us as children, we were like, what is this?
Right.
Especially little girls.
Yes.
But like as adult women now we see, and you know, people want to say we've evolved so much, but then I look, I'm like, have we though? We still are having these young girls that are being given to the world as little baby prostitutes to be performing on stages, wearing a thong.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And men have no problem. Like, oh yeah, that's totally cool. Yeah. The younger, the better. But then women, as they start to get like more aware and they're not little baby prostitute anymore, and they're not taken as seriously anymore, they're not given honor as much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We start to really, I mean, I've noticed this, by the way, when I was very young,
Yeah.
I pushed back on this, but I feel like some girls go along with it when they're young and they think they're getting something from it
Yep.
until they feel like they're not. And there's karma in that. There's karma. If you're the young girl, and I know I'm going all over the place with this, but there's always a reason.
Yep.
But if you're like a young girl, 15, and you're seducing dads, and you just want the attention, you want them to want you, and you don't care how you get that, there will be karmic consequences that you may not understand until you're older, until you're a woman that now has a man who doesn't have any fucking conscious awareness, no boundaries, and he's checking out little young girls hanging out with your daughter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like life has a way of helping us to really see the dysfunction so we'll heal it. And the only reason I say that is I think in our collective, there is some noise in our culture with sexualization and with making it just seem normal and cool. And it's just the thing. And oh, I'm hot as fuck, hot girl summer. I can do whatever I want because I'm like 23 and, you know, of course I'm wild and sleeping with 5,000 men because I'm 23. It's like, what the fuck is this program?
Yeah.
Because that program is going to fuck your shit up.
Mm-hmm.
And the women do it in the guise of empowerment. And it is so far from empowerment.
Right.
There is absolutely nothing empowering about that choice or living in that kind of way. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can see like in our culture, we have things that definitely are calling for some healing and awareness.
Yes.
And like with my client in the Indian culture, definite things crying for some awareness. But I feel like if we keep it simple, no matter what your culture is, if you're raised in Ireland, Africa, India, America, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. What matters is that we deeply understand that we are souls that are sovereign to ourselves. We are souls that came and chose to embody a human avatar body on this geographical point on planet Earth for a reason, for karmic reasons, for reasons that we are interacting with different souls that maybe we're clearing some energy with, or we have lessons with, or we have soul contracts with that we want to create some kind of important mission, or we want to, like what we're doing with the podcast, awaken humanity, help them to really think about what they're doing, help them to correct course before they run straight off shit cliff and get fucked. Do you know what I'm saying? I swear I'm going to make t-shirts with that. But energetically, understanding the programs is so important to not necessarily deep dive into understanding the program,
right.
but to understand when you're under the hypnotic spell of a program. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Do you want to say anything on that?
I don't think so, to be honest.
Okay. You're like, whew.
I was like, that's a lot.
I'm processing. Well, anything you feel about our culture that you're observing that you can see is definitely not helping people?
Okay. So I think working too much.
Yes.
Right? Addiction to work.
Yes.
Actually, addiction in general. Let's be honest.
Addiction in general. The programming of escapism.
Yeah.
Don't face your shit. Don't feel your shit. Just run and avoid your shit.
Yes.
Run from it. Go have sex. Go overeat. Go over drink. Go over drug. Go over consume.
Shop. Yeah.
Go over work.
Yep.
Just go and spin on the motherfucking hamster wheel.
Yep.
And think that somehow that will be glorified and make you more superior or worthy.
Right.
Absolutely. That's a big part of the program.
Yeah. It's huge. Huge.
And how many souls, like I was saying this, I think to you recently, that so many humans will be in that trauma response, spinning furiously on the wheel, and they'll get celebrated for it. And so it's confusing to them. And then they'll keep spinning, and some of them literally until they die, till they fall off the wheel and have a heart attack and die. And then the companies will come and just scrape their corpse to the side and get some new person that will do the same work for less pay.
Yeah.
And they barely think of you again. Just, okay, next.
Yeah.
Recycle. Like the lack of true empathy and compassion and care for human life and joy is concerning.
Yeah.
And so that's where we have to have the awareness to realize, look at all these programs. And do I feel like this is a program I want to be a part of or I want to be lost in? Because if I'm spinning incessantly on that wheel till I pass out, is that really bringing me fulfillment, joy, love, anything?
No, not at all.
And when you really sit with it, which is what Cindy's been courageously doing.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we choose to go into I call it the healing tent. I'm going to go into my little healing tent. The warrior needs to heal.
Yeah.
And I just need to feel everything and process what I've gone through. That can be sometimes very confronting experience to see like what you've participated in for so long, or what you've identified with, what you felt your value and worth was connected to, and how addicted you really were, how lost you really were in the program. And do you want to share anything about that? Because I'm not going to put you on the spot to have to share, but I feel like you very much, I've been assisting her as she's been going through this very intense dark night of the soul and initiation for her own ascension. Yeah. Which I see it as nothing but beautiful coming from it. There's a process here. Yes. But there's definitely been moments that have not felt beautiful to her.
Right.
Yes. So do you want to share anything about that?
Sure. So 6 months ago when I came here, I just naturally kind of stopped overeating. And that was definitely a coping mechanism to push down emotions.
Yes.
And I had been doing that probably, I think since I was 11, I think is when it started.
And that's something we've talked a lot about in your sessions when you were far away. But when you came here in the sacred container with me.
Yes.
That's when you felt it was a natural thing that happened.
Yeah.
You were in a different energy, a different pattern. You weren't lost in that overworking pattern.
Right.
Suddenly you're like, oh, I don't need to be doing this. But then you have to face all the things that you had been pushing down because of the overeating.
Yes.
Oh, and that's the part that you could easily associate with being here with me, which is not true.
No.
But it was a part of you leaving that environment, and like the saying where they say you can't heal in the same environment that made you sick. In a sense, you were leaving the environment that made you sick.
Yeah.
And you were stepping away from every bit of it, the overworking, everything, to where you're having all this quiet downtime. And now who the hell am I?
Yeah.
And now what do I do with these emotions and these feelings? Because we used to just overeat and shove them down and then shame spiral. And now they're right here waiting for me to have some tea with them.
Yes.
Waiting for me to have some conversations so that I can understand them and why they're there and how to set them free.
Yes.
But definitely not to identify with.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I have definitely struggled at points with this, which has been where you've come in to help, because you can, like, if I'm getting like stuck in a story, or I'm just kind of flailing with my emotions, and I'm like it's just overwhelming, where it's like it's just too much, and I'm like, I don't know how to deal or cope or even look at it. I'm just like, oh my God,
yes,
please get rid of them.
Which one thing that's so beautiful, and I want to give you honor for, is the fact that you do know when you need to reach out. Like, I could be so much busier helping so many more people, and there's so many souls like mine here to help people, but people have to have that courage to actually call out and ask for the help and value that work. Like, value getting coaching and healing sessions with a trusted healer as much or more than you value paying $300 to $500 for your hair,
right?
Or getting your nails done, or the kind of car you drive. Like, people, in a way, they really need to understand the value of their alignment and their soul's healing over materialistic distraction. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I see that you do, and you are doing that work, and you have come, and not everything is contractual. Like, Cindy lives with me and is my soul sister, and I would help her regardless. But I'm just saying, not everyone lives with me, right? And you are here, and we work very closely together. But for souls that don't live here or don't have access to people that are, offering you wisdom and aligned counsel and guidance, as a human, you have to pay attention to what your true needs are, and you have to ask for the help.
Yeah.
So, and I think so much of our program, the problem is so much of our program is guilt shaming.
Oh God, yeah.
Needing to even ask for help, or even acting like you're not perfect and you don't have it all figured out.
Yeah.
Like, so many humans do not have it figured out. Do you know what I'm saying? And, not to keep bringing up the goddamn toddler that's taken the government hostage, but that guy definitely could stand to have some coaching sessions and some healing sessions, because truly, like, looking at all humans from a place of compassion, I really can see all humans are worthy of healing and love. But humans that do not take the time to heal themselves are a danger to themselves and to future generations. Whether it's a dad who will not do his healing work, so now he's projecting on the wife, and now he's projecting on the children, and then those children, if they don't heal, will project that on their children, and down the line, and it becomes this generational train wreck of abuse and of addiction and unprocessed emotion. And so it doesn't matter if it's just an average family or a political family, but the reason it becomes more karmically important is because the more political, or I'm not going to say political, the more influence you have. So you could be Taylor Swift and you have a great influential reach. You're going to have greater karma connected to what you're expressing to humanity.
Yeah.
If you're the president and you have a political reach, you're going to have more karma connected to that political reach. What are you encouraging and inspiring in humanity? Are you helping them find truth and seek love and connection? Or are you encouraging division and hatred and ignorance?
Yeah. Because
depending on what you're doing with your platform, it will have a karmic effect on your life and your relatives and your life, your children, your everything. And if people truly understood that, they would not be spewing ignorance.
Right.
Because energetically, the shit you're putting out is the shit you're going to keep getting back. And every human deserves to heal. Every human. But the issue, that coming back to what I was saying, is if a soul just thinks they're arrogantly, perfectly, idiotically superior, and they're disgraceful, they're dishonoring, they have no integrity, they have no respect.
Mm-hmm.
And they convince themselves in the warped labyrinth of their own mind that no one can tell them anything and no one can, then they have put themselves in a prison of basically cementing themselves from growth. Yep. They cement themselves in this energetic that's like impossible to evolve and grow. And they might think they're winning by doing that. Right. It's really a defense mechanism to keep energies away. Oh, for sure. Because deep down, any soul that behaves like that is not at peace. Right. And they are not in their power. And they do not understand the power of love and alignment. Because when you're in those energies, you would never want to harm others and like, you know, throw like shame and guilt and like disrespect and dishonor. But when you are doing that and you think that makes you superior because you're more evil and hateful and arrogant, it's an unfortunate thing from a spiritual perspective because you're really frozen in that bullshit. Mm-hmm. And collectively you are having, whether you want to know it or not, you are creating a karmic experience for yourself. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think he thinks he's like exempt from karma.
Oh, the thing that's interesting is like how interesting. And like when I observe, I mean, it could be anyone, like we're using him as an example, but like anyone that literally plows around through life thinking they're going to fuck everyone over. They're going to steal everyone, rob them blind, all those idiots. They're all idiots. And they believe this. And they do not understand from a spiritual perspective what an idiot they are in the fact that they are living in this way and that shit's going to catch up to them. And I feel like karmically, energetics don't always return instant. And that's why people think they're getting away with it. Yeah. But then if people look at patterns, part of it's pattern recognition. If you're a truly ignorant being, you aren't paying attention to pattern recognition. So you don't realize why that business failed, why that woman left you. Why it's just always everyone's fault. Everybody else sucks. Everybody this, because they don't want to actually have any self-awareness. So they could have the karmic things happening, but they still convince themselves, oh, it's all their fault. All those people, they did me dirty, instead of the fact that they actually disrespected people and then lost a business. Or do you know what I'm saying? Yep. And so it will get louder and more intense to get the attention. But the energetic danger of it. And so whether going back to what we were saying with the cultural things, if, you know, a woman is out of alignment because she's not felt she's been respected and treated in the right way, and now she's projecting on her child, and you have to go get married by November and let your mother have a wedding and put out jewelry and do my fucking thing because this is so important to my ego. That can seem so important, but like the energetic influence that she is projecting and the karma she will receive for that. And same with the men. I'm not going to blame just the women. In this case, there's some misaligned feminines in that culture from what I can see. Yeah. I also told my client, I can see that there's quite a business in weddings. Oh. And it's interesting because like in our culture, like so much, if you research why did we start having marriages and why is the government involved in our love contracts? And like, there's so much reach back. If you look at the history, it's always about control. Mm-hmm. They want to make money off of you and they want to control something. Yep. So we have to be aware, like no matter what culture we're born into, to really feel into, does this choice feel like it's empowering me and liberating me? And does it feel authentic to me? Yeah. Because if that choice doesn't, there's a good chance that if you're about to make a choice that feels off and it just feels enslaving and you're frustrated or you feel anxious or overwhelmed, that you're about to walk unconsciously into a program and call it your destiny. Yeah. And that's something I feel so important for humans to pay attention to, whether we're walking in blindly as Republicans or we're walking blindly as Christians that are hating people and we're like getting off on thinking we're more superior than that person. I don't remember anything about Christ being like that. And this is where the problems come, the distortions happen, because the agenda and the political reach and the religious control, it all kind of overrides the messages of the avatars that have come with sacred messages of empowerment.
Yeah.
It's like if I was, someday I'm not on planet Earth and someone gets a hold of these podcasts, but then they try to start distorting them and they create a religion in my name. And they're like, Tawnya, she was a goddess and she would want you all to repent and give all of your money, send your money. You can call 1-800. It's like trying to get their money, and then they have to be afraid because Tawnya might come and strike you down if you don't do the right thing. And I, as Tawnya, would never have said any of that, would never have done any of that. But that's what a lot of religions have done with different beings. They've twisted their narrative. They've used them as poster children in their movements. And the same with political agendas and propaganda. If you're really paying attention, if there's anyone out there teaching you to hate on people, to have hate and separation, I would really encourage you to walk away and go sit alone in the forest with a tree and just get your consciousness back. Like plug in with source and remember that that is not an aligned way.
Right.
And we can watch and see when people are out of alignment and not have to hate them. Like, I don't have to hate Trump. I don't have to hate Republicans. I can see that there's things that he's doing that is destructive and ignorant and hateful and could be dangerous. I could see that there are very ignorant people that follow him that don't question anything and that just want to, no matter what he does, they make excuses. That's dangerous any more than. And here's the part so I'm getting this download right now. Here's the part where a lot of humans have to heal their mother and father wounds, because in childhood, if father did whatever the fuck he wanted and there never seemed to be a consequence and you had to do what daddy says and you're going to get your ass whooped if you don't.
Yep.
You're going to get shamed, degraded, whatever. We've really, in that journey, a lot of humans have been corrupted by it. And they kind of blindly just believe that that's the way it is. Like, oh, Big Daddy is yelling and angry. Daddy can do no wrong. No, that is fucking wrong. And it's been wrong since you were a child.
Yeah.
It was wrong when you were a child that you felt daddy was off and he was treating you bad, or he was treating mom bad, or your brother bad, or whatever. And same goes if your mom, because in my case, my mother and my father were abusive. But we have to see that in ourselves, because if we don't heal that in ourselves, then we literally wait around for a big daddy to yell at us. It could be Tony Robbins shaming you in a big public discussion conference. And because Big Daddy thinks he knows better and he's going to shame your ass in front of everyone. And people go and pay thousands of dollars for that to happen. It is wild, right?
Yes.
But if we haven't healed inside, and no offense, Tony Robbins, I can see you're working on yourself. But energetically, I can pick up on energies when they're off and they're on. Mm-hmm. And so if we don't heal that in ourselves, we keep looking for that in an external energy, because that's the daddy we believe in. So a misaligned political so-called leader, a misaligned father, a misaligned minister, a misaligned motivational speaker, whatever, self-help person.
Yep.
If it could be a fucking yoga teacher, like there's been people who, like Bikram yoga, and they're very militant, these yoga energies, where I taught yoga for years. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, yoga is not meant to be like jail and prison. Like, you're not supposed to be yelled at by a drill sergeant and like called out and forced into positions. Yeah. But wildly so popular for a while because humans had an addiction to the suffering. They are literally like, I am uncomfortable in a class with Tawnya, who's loving me and accepting me and encouraging me to really listen to my truth and love myself. But going in a class where I'm being yelled at and called out and shamed, and I'm being stimulated to be in my ego and compete and compare with the woman next to me in her Lulu leggings, and fuck her, my Lulu leggings are better than her. And look I can do down dog all day, bitch. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we can laugh at this shit, but it's fucking real, right?
It is, yeah.
The whole agenda of things driven by ego is insane. Mm-hmm. But the humans showing up at the front of the line to drink the Kool-Aid is wild, because of the unprocessed healing that they have not done for themselves. They have not healed. So they are looking, same reason young girls are out seeking fucked up men who are going to fuck them up and treat them bad, because daddy issues.
Yep.
Same reason guys are out messing with their girls and they want to control them and they don't want to be the man and be the breadwinner and be the leader. Mommy issues. And so they've got to heal that stuff.
Yeah.
But do you see, until we do, we'll all, like you and I, like I see you healing so much and you have a lot of awareness and you can see the political shit and how fucked up it is.
Yes.
That is such a good sign because you can see that. But so many that haven't even woke up to heal themselves at all, to even value themselves, they'll literally be out there making excuses for men to totally take all their rights. Like there are women who will totally celebrate it. Like, oh, don't push back on daddy. Everyone loves daddy. Like, no, don't you disturb daddy. Let's go give him a nice like fried piece of chicken and a beer. Right?
Yes.
It's fucking crazy.
It is crazy.
But like, and sorry, not to mock that. I don't know where these accents come from, but they're coming from somewhere. But the energy, you get it.
Yes.
It's this whole thing where it's like the childhood I grew up with my grandfather and my grandma, and we're all hanging out and like me and my brother watching cartoons, and my grandpa comes in, throws a tantrum because he wants to watch wrestling or football. And then my grandma, okay, no one upset grandpa, and everyone just gives grandpa his way. And grandpa's literally acting like a toddler throwing a tantrum.
Yes.
And I remember me and my brother are children. Like,
what the fuck?
The hell? Is he going to get his ass kicked? Because that's what would happen to us, right? So we're just so confused. Like, wait a minute. So if we even make noise, we get our asses kicked, or if we have an opinion. But if grandpa throws an actual tantrum, he gets fried chicken and a beer. Do you know what I mean?
And the TV.
And the TV, he gets to do what he wants. But do you see like the deeper dynamic of healing here? And then in a way, we're kind of circling back to shadow work with this topic. And I know this session is going long, and that's okay, because we might just deliver this in a really long ass podcast. Because no rules, baby. Like that's the way I really love, is to live in divine flow. And so we're just going to flow.
Yep.
But what do you feel about that? Like, do you kind of get what is coming through on the deeper programming that has people following blindly, literally like little sheeps running to slaughter?
Oh, yeah.
With no question, no regard to what is right, to what is aligned, and to what is even safe or humane to themselves or others.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've really had to like take a deep look at the programs, and I, even talking now, I'm like, I need to take another deep look. Just
Good. It's all layers. Layers.
Yes. Just at the program, especially like I need to like work really hard, and I have to have a certain type of job, and I have to be making a certain amount of money. And,
bullshit.
With that money, I'm supposed to support certain family members.
More bullshit.
Overgive.
Bullshit. I'll just keep saying bullshit until you say something that actually is aligned. But do you see?
Yeah. Yeah.
You are unraveling program.
Yes.
And here's the thing that's, I feel, keeps people stuck in program the most of anything, is the people that you're caught in the program with. When you start to awaken, they aren't going to get certain things from you that they once did.
Yeah.
And they will suddenly have an issue with you. Oh, she's lost her mind. She's crazy. Have you heard about Cindy?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, girl, is she like doing drugs? Like,
they'll say that
I'm not saying people are saying that about you, but I literally went through that with family as I was awakening and taking my power back and questioning authority and challenging things and leaving marriages and things that in my soul, I knew damn well I deserved better treatment than I was getting. And I knew deep down from very young, the programs that felt very fucked up and dysfunctional to me as a woman, as a young girl that was becoming a woman when I was very young. What is this? What are they doing? Why are girls behaving like this? Why do girls act like that? Dude, I started to feel like, dude, I don't know if I can trust girls. I don't know if I can trust other women, because other women, when they're distorted and broken, they're unpredictable and turn on other women.
Yeah.
And the same can go with men. It's just, it can become very shady.
Yeah.
But like, it really challenged me to my core, and to where I would question, like, even watching my dad and how he behaved, and he was my stepdad, and I had a biological sperm donor dad, but like watching my stepdad and certain behaviors and mannerisms that kind of would create like a little mind fuck for me as a child, where then I'm like, dude, I don't know if I want to be a wife. Look how he treats her. Like, I don't want to be treated like that.
Exactly.
And so there's things deep down in that program where you, as a young girl, are watching and forming opinions and observations. And you want to look out and see things that help you feel safe. Like if you're in a healthy family, you're going to see things that reconfirm your value and your worth and your safety and your importance, right?
Yeah.
And so you'll see that as a dad treating a mother valuable, like she's valuable, she's honored, she's respected, she's protected. There are so many families on planet Earth where that is not the case.
Right.
For women or men, it could go either way, because I know someone will just want to freak out about, what about, how come you're not saying it about the women? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'll just say, for any squeaky wheels, that I'm really encompassing everyone. But from what I've observed, more so than the other way, I've observed a lot of misaligned masculine energies that have caused more wounding in women.
Yes.
Now, like in my family growing up, like I saw misaligned masculine and feminine, and interestingly, they feed on each other. But like, for example, we all cater to the grandpa throwing a tantrum.
Yep.
He can do whatever he wants. He cannot do wrong, though he's doing wrong all the time, and he lives like a toddler. Let's be honest, like what kind of fucking leader is that? So now his wife is over here and she feels more anxious. She doesn't feel as safe. She's overworking. She's overgiving. She's overdoing. She probably doesn't trust him. She probably feels like his mommy more than his partner. Then she becomes bitter, jaded. Now she has daughters and daughter-in-laws, and she projects her anger, her control, her spite, her gossip, her hate. It's a cycle. Yeah. And those girls, what they needed was support and love. But they can't get it from her because she didn't give it to herself. She didn't get it from anyone.
Right.
So then it becomes that cycle of, fuck you, bitch. I didn't get no care or love. Now you're going to suffer too. Welcome to the family, bitch. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yikes. Yeah.
And I mean, this is really, what I'm saying is truth in families.
Yeah.
But what you're going to get in family gatherings is not this.
Right.
And this is the shit that got most of my relatives to not be comfortable with me. Because I really see through the program. I see through the distortion. I can see how, man, none of my cousins could ever be loving to me and make me feel safe because they're all insecure and jealous and envious and hateful. They hate themselves. They don't take care of themselves. So I come in with happiness and joy and positive focus and, hey guys, have you noticed a fucking elephant in the room? Like, this shit's uncomfortable. And they're just like, get her out of here.
Yeah.
Like, get her fucking out of here. Like, she is making us so uncomfortable. The aunts couldn't help me when I was struggling. The grandmas couldn't help me. So what I'm saying is, this isn't just a masculine, like, bashing. This is a humans wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
Call.
Yes.
To attention. Because if you're a grandmother, it's not too late. Wake the fuck up and do your healing work. If you're a grandfather, it's not too late. Realize you are not the be all say all just because you made some money once.
Right.
Who gives a fuck? Like, dude, be respectful. Be a leader people can respect and look up to. Same with women. If you're a mother, if you're a child, it's now, always now. The calling is now to awaken, to take your power back and to show honor. And so if you're a cousin, if you're an aunt, if you're an uncle, if you're a business owner, if you're a neighbor, we all have an opportunity to like show up with love, show up with integrity. And this whole narrative, like the political narrative of hating on immigrants and people that are different, it's wild. Like, this goddamn country, to be honest, was stolen from natives.
Yeah.
Stolen. And taken over by fucking immigrants from all different parts of the world.
Yep.
And then created into a country called America. It was not America before that. And now we have misaligned masculine toddlers throwing tantrums in political, buildings and meetings because they want to kick out anyone that's not white and Christian.
Yep.
It literally is insanity.
Mm-hmm.
And the wildness is like, those people are fucking immigrants. If you want to really look at the timeline, are you Native American? Oh, okay. Then you're an immigrant.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Are you Native? Oh, you're not a Native American. Your family comes from where? Like Germany, Austria, Russia, like wherever your descendants.
Yeah.
Okay. You're an immigrant. So if we're going to kick out immigrants, we should all fucking leave.
Yeah. Everybody
and
out.
I know that in this timeline, I'm a white girl, but in many timelines, I've been Native.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel some of us remember deep cellular memory of what happened. Some of us know the destiny of the karma of things and who really is meant to awaken and receive certain land and not.
Yeah.
We also, as native spirits, like as spiritual beings that were native, we didn't own land.
Right.
It didn't belong to anyone.
No.
It was something you were a steward of. You were a caregiver of nature.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would be refreshing to remember if all of us remembered that we are stewards of this land. Like Cindy and I on our walk today, we picked up some trash. We didn't have to. It's not our job.
Right.
But there's some trash, pick it up, throw it away, right?
Yep.
If I see a plant that's dying, I would go over and give it some water. Like I can give it some love. It doesn't have to be mine. But this is like a big part of what I feel we have to awaken to is this concept of like a lot of the separation consciousness of believing that we're here to be separate is such an illusion. Mm-hmm. The borders, the lines, who owns what, the power, the control, it's all ego. It's all ego bullshit.
Yep.
That has literally caused so much destruction in each person. Even the people that think they're immune, they're putting it all out. If you're hateful to everyone in your day, you are a shitty little person and you do not feel good inside. There's no way that you're walking around being an asshole to everyone in your world and you're feeling awesome.
Right.
So when you see people that are like who we're talking about, one of them, that are just hating on people on social media and acting like toddlers, just being bullies, that person's not happy.
No.
And so like if I think like the big message here is if we want to be happy, no matter where we popped in on planet Earth, because let's be honest, like where I was born, karmic reasons. Where Trump was born, karmic reasons. Where Cindy was born, karmic reasons. Where Taylor Swift was born, karmic reasons. We all had reasons that we popped up in the different places we did and the people that we chose. Some of them were going to be beautiful experiences. Some of them would be challenging experiences. Some of them would be people that felt so supported and nurtured. Others would be people that didn't get any of that, but they would find that in themselves. They would cultivate it in themselves and they'd be a way sure of that. We all have our purpose, but we're all literally in it together on a planet called Earth. That is our shared home.
Yes.
So the insanity is sitting around and blowing up people, sending missiles and hate, whether it's a hate missile or a literal missile, that's all coming from hate and separation. It's, if you imagined being a cosmic being watching this, it would be the most wild fucking Jerry Springer show ever. Like, and we think we're so evolved and aware. I mean, I know that I am choosing that, so I can speak that of myself. But like, if you imagined being, and this is maybe what helps me, like when I meditate and I can sit in a higher vantage point of consciousness and observe humanity. And like Christ said, to be in the world, but not of the world, meant I can be in the consciousness that understands the great I am. I am one with source, and I can see all the different energetics and the programmings and how they're affecting this one in India and this one in Germany and this one that's raised in Minnesota. And like every one of them are one with that source. Every one of them are worthy of that love and that support. But as humans that have all gone through suffering, all of us, if we don't heal that in ourselves, we keep creating the cycles we're watching.
Yeah. This
cycle we're seeing is not new. This is why when people freak out about the news, Cindy, we've talked about this, like you, and same with my partner, when he's like freaking out about the news and he just like, oh God, oh God. And I mean, you can definitely, if you tune in, it's an, oh God, like, oh, what the fuck is happening?
Stop tuning in.
But I say playfully, but also I'm like, it's okay. Let's just focus on what's working and what we love today. And that could sound so ignorant, right? Some people think, oh, she's so not aware. But I'm like, no, what are you grateful for? Let's focus on that frequency. Let's go on that channel. Because since the beginning of people probably being able to tell stories, there has been people lying and just trying to cause drama.
Yeah.
So way back in the caveman days, they're probably sitting in the cave and they went out and they're hunting and they're grunting and they're just like, ooh, ooh. And that grunt is like, oh, that guy, he stole my buffalo. Fuck him. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like since the beginning of time, someone's been angsty and talking some smack about someone.
Yep.
And now we have social media and like the internet and like everything with goddamn bombardment of advertisement. No matter what you tune in on, there's fucking ads coming into your head. I just so you all know, you're not winning with me because I mute you and I turn away until your bullshit's over. And then I go back to my show that I chose to watch or I chose to listen to. So that is a choice, guys. You can always mute and just turn away.
Yes.
But energetically, do you get what I'm saying? Like the whole noise of the news, the physical news on TV, that just started like, you know, what was that? When did we first get TVs? Was it in like the 50s? That's what I feel like. Yeah. I'm just going with that. But don't anyone yell at me if I didn't say it the exact date because I don't give a fuck. But basically, the big message here is that we've had that coming at us probably since around the 50s. And as far as a visual thing,
yes.
Before that, there was radios and they'd come around with their little loudspeakers through your neighborhood.
Yeah.
They would throw newspapers. Like there's different ways, right? But it's become louder and more invasive. Mm-hmm. But energetically, we don't have to get so freaked out. We don't have to listen. We don't have to be so tuned into it.
Right.
And the political shit of Democrats and Republicans hating on each other is no different than how one football team will forever hate the other football team.
Right.
And who gives a fuck? They're both football teams. They both want to win. But big picture, sometimes this one's winning, another time that one's winning. And energetically, when we look at, I think, governmental things, neither are winning until they all align with free will. None of them will win. Mm-hmm. Until we honor the human rights of all humans. Every human deserves rights. Every human deserves healthcare and love and safety and shelter. Until we agree to understand that and not agree like, oh, it's just we're going along with a program. But until we, in our consciousness, really see the value of life and understand its value, these fucking narratives will continue to play. There will always be someone hating on someone else. There will always be someone working hard to prove themselves. There will always be someone being the racist bigot. And there will be the one that's in a black meat suit proving himself with a baseball bat. Like there will always be that energetic. But we don't have to be lost in that noise. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I feel like that's kind of the big summary of this podcast is be aware of your programming. Mm-hmm. Maybe even start questioning like, where in my life have I been programmed? That's a great question.
Yeah.
Where am I currently under a program, like the spell of a program? Am I currently behaving free and sovereign in my power? Or am I under the spell of some program? Maybe it's your corporate program. Maybe it's your familial program. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's your governmental program. The first step to freeing yourself is to recognize where you're not free and to really understand like, fuck, like you were saying, this is what I used to do with my emotions since 11. I shoved it down with food. That was never helping you.
No. Mm-mm.
It became a pattern and a program that caused you a lot of suffering. And it didn't really get rid of the pain. It just shoved it down. Yep. And that's part of why I feel like you've had this struggle of a kind of dark night of the soul is not because you're being punished. It's because you let go and you stopped pushing shit down and it's all coming up. Yeah. Not to be torturing you, right? Not to even be identified with, just to be released.
Yep.
Like, that's why the metaphor that always comes to me is like, when I'm doing auric clearings for clients, like you've been holding all these buoys underwater and you're drowning because you're trying to control it and you want to hold them all down. And so you're taking in water, right? And you're fucking drowning. And then people come to see me for an auric clearing and we're like, we're just going to get you on your back and get you to relax and get you to open up your energies. And we're going to start clearing some energetics. You're going to notice some things come up. Don't freak out. Just let them come up. Observe them. What are they there to teach you? If you want to get to know them, you can, or you can just let the water carry them away.
Yeah.
And it's like the person with all the buoys, they float on their back. They let go. Boop, 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 boop. Maybe some have 100.
Right.
Maybe some have 1,000. And maybe some come up right away. Maybe some come these ones, and then a week later, some more pop up. But it's just the understanding that it's a release and that you don't have to grab on again. That's the suffering.
Yeah.
I have to grab that. I cannot let anyone know this, and shove it back down. And then you're like holding that underwater and you're drowning again. Right?
Yes.
Instead of, oh my God, like if I could be neutral, laying on the ocean and look over like, holy fuck, that's a lot of buoys. I think there might be 1,000.
Yeah.
Oh, take them all, water. Take them all. That's freedom. And there's no suffering needed.
Yeah.
It's just release.
Yeah.
Right? Anything you want to say connected to that? Was that a dramatic enough visual for you?
Might describe what I've been going through recently.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And resisting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anybody to know about this.
And that's when you grab them and shove it back.
Yes. Then I'm trying to shove it down.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And once it was just like allowing, and like you said, put it on the altar.
Yes.
Oh, time to take a drink.
Some water. Drink your water,
Drink
kids.
water.
Hydrate.
Yeah, once I could,
As I literally was drinking water.
Yes.
Perfect timing.
Important. That also helps you to release.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the allowing. Just allow it.
Yes.
And try not to feel shame. And
well, don't try. It's like Yoda.
Yes.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is just give yourself permission to let go.
Yeah.
And catch yourself if you do think in a moment that you want to shame yourself or judge yourself. Just catch it and like, whoa, look at that. Look at that pattern and that program to shame myself. Interesting. I'm not accepting that. Meaning, I recognize it's here, but I'm not going into that direction. Thanks anyways for the invitation. It's like someone calls you that you really don't want to hang out with, that you didn't have a great connection with, and they invite you to a party.
Yeah.
Whoa. Hopefully you don't hear that on my podcast, but maybe if you did. My dryer seems to be out of balance. I think it's the dryer.
The okay.
Or the washer. Yeah. Sorry, the washer. But does that make sense? Like someone invites you to a party and you don't really want to go. You're like, I'm good, but have fun. That's like if shame comes up. It's inviting you to a shame party.
Yes.
They always suck. You always have a hangover after and you feel like shit.
Yes.
So you can just, no thanks. I've already gone to your parties. They suck. But thanks anyways. I think I'm going to go on a walk and just have peaceful quiet inside of myself.
Yes.
Do you see?
Yes.
So not trying to not do something, but just don't accept the invitation.
Yeah.
Like, I know what you're here for, shame. You're here to kick my ass.
Mm-hmm.
You're here to cause me suffering. And I love myself. And now I know I'm worthy of love. And I'm now choosing to love myself. And that doesn't make sense anymore. But when I wasn't loving myself, God damn, did we party.
Yeah.
And did I suffer?
Yes.
Did you kick my ass and drag it through the streets by my hair? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then we didn't tell anyone. We kept all that secret.
Yeah.
So it's, you know what I'm saying? Just if you can kind of, I don't know, I have an art for helping people see things in a more playful way.
Yes.
And not so serious.
Yes.
But does that make sense to you?
Yes. That's very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So anything else you want to share in regards to that? Like the programming or anything you want to
No, I think that was
bring
really good.
awareness to it? Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty good for this session. And we just did one long one, but just a little sign off note for all of you listening. I really encourage you to just ask yourself and ask your higher self, help me see where I've temporarily lost myself in program. Help me to see places where I am continuing to suffer or to cause suffering. Help me to see that.
Yeah.
Help me to see where I could be more free and places where I could honor the freedom in others. Because if you're asking those questions, you'll find those answers. It's kind of like if we're looking for things to hate in people, we'll find them. And if we're looking for things to love in ourselves or in others, we'll find them. And so I feel like a big part of this whole collective energy that's going on in America, but it's going on planet Earth, let's be honest. Because, in our country, this seems so loud to have some of the shit that's happening. But in other countries, their shit seems so loud to have happening. And so it's all loudness happening to help us wake up and, remember love and remember alignment and remember integrity and what that really is, and to take our power back, because none of us are going to have a beautiful life when we're walking into an energy of enslavement and participating and cooperating with someone abusing us or enslaving us. And none of us are going to have an amazing life by doing that to people, by enslaving people and treating them like our bitch. And you know what I mean? Like, it's really a lose-lose situation, as much as people's egos will be loud about it, because they're so, let's just be honest, unconscious and ignorant to a higher understanding. But I feel like we as humans that are conscious, a big part of a rebellion is to not tune into that noise and not lose our integrity and our frequency and our alignment because others have. It's like, this is why it's so important to be the change, like Gandhi was saying, be the change you wish to see, be it in your own small way. Like, it might seem so insignificant to like some people. Maybe you're not on a political platform being super loud. And so it seems like, who's going to even notice if I'm a person of integrity? You will. Your soul will. The people around you will. So it fucking matters. And your political and spiritual and, all the different, like, just your physical, your business, all the reach can be significant if it's meant to be. If there's a reason spirit wants that to be bigger in yourself, it will be. But you don't need to look at it being not important if it's just affecting 5 people in your life. And you. That's what matters. And I think people we need to just, in a way, what the ultimate rebellion would be is just everyone just fucking turn off the news. No one tune in. If we all just didn't tune in, the whole thing that keeps it running is the money and the sponsorship and all. So if we just stop, like, we're not interested, fuck off. There's more power there than people understand. To just stop tuning into the bullshit. Just stop listening. If someone's speaking cray-cray, just let that be enough to go, no thanks. I'm going to go over here. I'm just going to go and meditate and have stillness.
Don't let it trigger you. And
don't let it trigger you to where then you're spewing and then you're hating on people. And then, now I'm going to go hate on some, like, there's so many interesting times. Like, it's kind of interesting. Like, I'll put out something inspiring and loving and enlightening. And what I feel is bringing awareness, right? And consciousness. And then sometimes there's some ignorant humans that will come in and just want to hate on you for doing that. I just move on. I don't need to engage. I don't got to prove anything to them. I don't need to educate them. And so whether you think you know it all and you're a Republican, or you think you know it all and you're a Democrat, or you think you know it all and you're a Christian, or you think you know it all and you're a redneck, I don't care. Just, it's like, have the common sense to just move along and not be a hateful little bitch that day. Because we really don't have to do that. And you can also not comment on people's stuff. You can scroll along. You can just block something if something really upsets you. You can block it. You do not have to ask permission. But what's interesting is pay attention to like there's times I've blocked people because of the ignorance coming through that I'm just like, no way. It's just like, I'm not going to let some, drug addict run through my living room and scream and spew a bunch of crazy shit and just sit there and pretend that's normal. I'll be like, no, thanks. Get out of my house. Right. So when you have social media, look at it like it's your goddamn living room. Would you let that come through your living room? If you don't feel like it feels honoring and aligned, that's all you need. You can block it. You don't have to go hate on it. You don't have to go yell at it and tell it that it needs to act a certain way. Or if you were just more informed, you libtard. Like, had people say that to me from just being a positive, loving person. And I'm like, What?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You don't have to go and be. And I think that, when people are behaving like that, it's interestingly, the humans that want to follow a toddler that's throwing tantrums and hating in the world are hateful toddler humans.
Yep.
And so he's really finding his people.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we have to react and be hateful. I think we need to be conscious. And as a country, we need to be conscious of the destruction. Just like if a toddler had a fucking grenade, we might want to get it away from them.
Yes.
And I feel like our country, like karmically, there are people in positions of power and leadership that are completely in positions to stop this. And there will be karmic repercussions and karmic delivery to people who are refusing to step up.
Yeah.
That's just facts. There are people like, sometimes people are like, oh, what do I do? Like, I can't stop that. Like, there's things you can do. Turn off the noise, distract, turn away from the bullshit, be a better aligned person yourself.
Yeah.
Be more conscious, be more aware. But like, there are people in positions that are allowing that will be karmically tied to his downfall.
Mm-hmm.
And just know that. As humans, know that. And just like if your dad's being a tyrannical toddler and he's leading the family down to shit cliff to get fucked, like he'll have karmic repercussions for his behavior and how he's treating the family.
Yeah.
How he's causing generational cycles.
Yep.
He's consistently assisting with it, right? So people really do have to pay their karma. And what's so interesting is if people understood it, they would really be more conscious because it doesn't always come immediately. It might be like you did all these awful things for so many years to so many people, and next life you are just living a shit life and you don't know why. What have I done? Do you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes it's swift. Sometimes karmic return can be very swift.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's a rigid rule on that. I feel like there's a perfect divine timing of it all. Right?
Yeah.
But big picture, I feel like if people just be the change they wish to see, you want to be around conscious, loving, generous, honoring people, be that. You want to, have a platform that helps encourage the world to heal. That's what we're doing with our podcast. Will there maybe be some people that really won't like what we have to say? Maybe. Yeah. Doesn't matter, because if, like, one thing spirits help me understand, that my energy, my frequency, it's both triggering and inspiring, and both are medicine.
Yeah.
So if somebody gets super triggered by something they hear, maybe there's something they need to sit with in themselves of why that's triggering them.
Yeah.
If they feel very inspired by it, pretty easy. Like, oh, Jesus, that's inspiring me to really think about this. And so either way, like, we as humans are meant to be free. We're meant to speak freely, love freely, feel freely, move freely. So don't go along with anything that says you're enslaved, because that you will be going against your own alignment, and you'll know it. You'll feel really fucking uncomfortable and probably be having a panic attack, and not saying when we're releasing things, but like in a sense, when you were having panic, it was when you were kicking your own ass.
Yeah. So
that was your own signal. Like, you are going in the wrong direction. Like, you could be going in a peaceful direction, but you're really in this suffocating, controlling death grip direction.
Yeah.
And what is that making you feel like? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember I once got married very briefly, and I'll just be honest, because someone tried to pull shit up from my past one day and I'll be like, bitch, I already talked about that, so you're not going to scare me.
That ain't no news.
I'll totally own up to it. So I had a situation, married very short time, and knew that this shouldn't have even happened.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't ready to get married. I knew that it wasn't right, and it didn't feel right to me. But one day, he's like, you want to? I'm like, oh, what the hell? Never do something when it's a what the hell, by the way. And this was in the past. So this is past Tawnya, not making maybe as solidly conscious decisions, but I was very conscious being.
Yeah.
Just my point is, when we got there to do the vows and do the wedding thing, before we left, my kid had a total panic attack. And, I calmed them, and then we left. And when I got there and it was time to go do the vows, I had a panic attack. And I know myself enough to know that is not alignment. If I'm having a panic attack, I should not be doing this.
Yeah.
Now, big picture, I did affirm that no matter what, only good will come to me from this. And I ended up doing it. We were only married a few months, literally a few months, to realize, nope, this is not right for me. And he wanted to get married for a tax reason, to like help with taxes. Like, oh, if we're married, and he was saying all these things. And I'm like, dude, I've been doing my own taxes. Like, I don't think that's going to even matter. And no one comes at me for doing illegal things, because I didn't. We genuinely got married, but I knew it wasn't the right match for me. And then later, because his kid chose to stay with me, and I was raising that child, and I was paying for everything, and he was sending me nothing. The mother of that child never offered once to send any financial help for the so-called child that was theirs. And so when it came time for the taxes, because of that, she was right there, our tax lady, and he was supposed to give me the money for child support, because I was raising the child.
Yeah.
And I feel like he felt bad to not do it in front of that lady, because it brought up emotion in me. And I was like, I'm just struggling right now because you had promised that you were going to do this. And now you're acting like you're not. And I just feel like that's messed up.
Yeah.
And because I think if it was just me and him, he probably wouldn't have cared. But she's sitting there, and then he's like, just go ahead and give it all to her. And I go, no, don't say it like that. Don't say it like I'm taking advantage, like, oh, just give it all to her.
Right.
Like, really see that I deserve this and so much more. So show me the honor I deserve. And then he's like, you're right. So a weird thing where our relationship wasn't meant to last, but the relationship with the child, they're still with me.
Yep.
And that relationship with the child was what was really, I feel, destined to take place.
Yeah.
But my message with that is if you go to do something and you have a total panic attack and you just feel like something's really wrong, don't get married. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if it feels really wrong, or don't sign that contract, or don't, work for that company.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people have got to be aware and tune in and ask for guidance too from their higher awareness. Like, help me be aware if this is a good decision. And I feel like a lot of us as individuals, if we start being more conscious, we're going to be better at making our decisions of even like what political people, or do we even need political people? Maybe let's ask that question. Like, do we even need this governed energy to govern us?
Right.
I mean, that's a program that's been here a long time, profiting off of all of us seeming lost without them.
Yep.
And so I feel like we need to question things. Do we really need a religious energy controlling what we do and telling us the limitations, or taking how much percent of our money?
Yeah.
Do we really need a government system taking percentages of our money just because they say it's the time? And that's been happening since the Bible times. It is the time to pay taxes. And I'm just saying this to like get people to think consciously, like, is there another way that we could do things? And we could question things as a collective. We can question it. We can imagine it better, and we can make different choices. But we don't have to sit back and just feel like we have to tolerate a little toddler dictator and think that that is totally normal and acceptable.
Right.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yep. And I feel like some of the message today, like, we can talk about politically, but like, let it begin with you. Let it begin in your home. So if you're at home and you're a dad and you're listening and you're acting out of alignment and you're treating your wife less and you're treating her like shit in front of your kids, you will have karmic consequences for that. If you're a mother that's doing that, if you're doing drugs and you're doing stupid shit and you're not taking care of your kids and not nurturing them and you're abusive, karmic consequence for that, So we have to start seeing that we do have power, even as a child. Children, I was a child that pushed back. I was a child that questioned authority. Of course I was. I'm a soul. I'm just in a smaller meat suit because it's newer, right? I'm in a smaller meat suit. That doesn't mean my consciousness is ignorant or isn't maybe vastly more intelligent than the humans I've come to live in a family with.
Yeah.
Let's be humble about it. Like, sometimes those children's souls are advanced, aware souls with a family that is really lost in darkness. And if you have this rigid thing like, oh, I'm a bigger meat suit, so I make the rules and I get to abuse people because I say so, and I'm here to terrify and torment and hold children hostage, you're going to have karmic consequence.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we all can see that as parents and children, we have a right to speak up. We have a right to feel things and to speak our truth.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So I feel like that's good on this one. It's going to be a nice long one. You guys can, I mean, I should have said this earlier, but you always can break it up into segments, which I know you all know. So,
Yeah.
But thank you for listening, and thank you for taking your power back, guys. And, you know, pay attention to your life and to your cultural programming and influence, and let's all meditate on, you know, what we really want to be and what kind of future we want to create, and imagine the best case scenario. Imagine the beautiful connection when we're all in harmony. Imagine a world that's united. There's power in that. Stop believing all the bullshit with the news and turn it off, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Like, turn it off and really tune in to your own inner awareness, because we're all incredibly intelligent beings when we're plugged in with source, and when we're silent and listening and open and receptive. We're not ignorant.
Yeah.
But when we're running around just spewing shit and reactive and unconscious, lost in program, it's just going to create more cycles of the same. So ponder that, guys. And if you have any content you'd like us to talk about, let me know. And I encourage you to subscribe to us and share our content with all your loved ones. I love and appreciate you all. Have a beautiful day.